So yeah, recording another video for the first time in a while. I kind of skipped July's one because I was really ill for most of this month. Basically, I think what happened is that my hormone levels were sort of blag anyway, and then the hormones kind of took over from my natural production of hormones, but there wasn't enough to take up the slack, and I started having like the worst, ultra kind of horrible menopause symptoms, and they have basically been in bed or just like blagging around being really ill for ages. So yeah, I'm still really keen on transition despite this. So if anyone else is kind of watching and like worrying about feeling crap during it, I think if you can do something like this and feel this bad and still feel like you're doing the right thing, then it's probably a good thing. Yeah, I'm super rambly at the moment. My brain has been like mashed potatoes, so yeah, basically I haven't been doing much for the last month either. I took time off uni so that I could transition. I'm lucky enough to live in a country where you can basically, take time off college and not starve. So it's kind of, been really slow, but in its own way, really good. I've been spending a lot of this time, besides caring for my mum, who's really ill, I've been spending a lot of this time reflecting on stuff and everything, and I'm finding that it's tying in a lot with sort of spiritual stuff of mine. I'm sort of a reformed atheist. I grew up very spiritual, but then I had a period where I found it really difficult to believe in anything. Sort of occultists refer to it as the dark night of the soul, which is when you basically have this period where nothing works, your life goes to shit, you feel cut off from God, you feel cut off from yourself, everything's fucked up. I feel like I'm sort of coming out of that period now, and recently joined up with a group who have helped me a great deal. No, not a cult, unfortunately. But no, they're not like a mainstream church thing or anything either. But and that has been really interesting. I've also been studying a lot of alchemical stuff recently and applying some of that philosophy and some of the wisdom you get from that sort of thing to my transition, and sort of feeling, I don't even know really how to describe it, but feeling that it can be a really profound thing, and I know this probably doesn't make sense to the vast majority of people watching this, but yeah, basically like it's just been really enlightening to kind of put transition in perspective with kind of overall concepts of change or the spirituality of change, and I think that's been really good. So I'm trying to keep my head up. I've been horribly ill, seriously, like not just hot flashes, but like getting sort of several hour-long fevers, migraines. I've had blinding migraines, which has been really unpleasant, where I can't see. Just nausea. I'm finding it difficult to eat. Just that kind of stuff. Achy joints. Just sleeping a lot. I'm intending to go and see my GP again pretty soon. I have been feeling better these past few days. I think it just takes a while for your levels to get to the right place for some people. But I'm going to be talking to my GP just to get checked out and make sure that there's no kind of like other things wrong, because I guess one of the things that really worries me transitioning is playing around with hormones and like increasing the risk of cancer and stuff. And I've heard from other trans guys that this isn't a big issue, and it's probably just a paranoia of mine, but it is something I'm worried about, considering how ill I've been feeling. But I mean, it's been like a month and a half, 2 months that I've been feeling like this now. So I figure if it was cancer, I would probably look a bit more cancerous by now. I probably wouldn't be looking quite so, robust and stuff. But yeah, if anyone who watches this video has any experience with that severity of symptoms, I'll be really interested to know, because I haven't found many people who do. It could just be that I'm in that lucky sort of 20 to something percent of female body people who just has terrible menopause symptoms. And I guess the thing with transitioning from female to male is that you don't really have like a normal menopause. You have an accelerated kind of semi-uber pause that kind of goes through you like a Bondi tram. It doesn't actually it's not actually like a menopause. It's because you're basically having to shut down 2 major organs and then sort of take a supplement to pick up the slack, and it's a completely different hormonal balance to what your body's used to. So it's sort of like a menopause, puberty, just general screwing around with your endocrine system. So yeah. Yeah, I've also had a bit of a cold. I also got food poisoning, but that's not related to transition. So yeah, I will stop babbling. Basically, my sort of regular change report is pretty much static at this point. I don't feel like I've changed much in the last couple months. I feel like it's sort of a bit stagnant. I mean, looking at myself now in a video, I can see that I look more male than I did. And my voice has certainly dropped, which I'm loving. I love that so much. Learning to sing with it like this has been really interesting as well. I can sing songs that I've wanted to sing all my life and couldn't. So yeah, also that's one thing actually. I actually was worried about that, really worried about my voice not being able to sing, because I've been able to sing all my life. Competently, I've performed, at school and out of school and all sorts of stuff. And that was probably one of my biggest fears, that my voice wouldn't be good. But now I think it's actually better than it was, not just because it sounds male to me and that's good, but my range seems to have extended. One thing I have noticed for any singing nerds out there is that I still have my old alto range, but what's happened is that it's like I now have a developing male range, and then it's like there's a lock, and it's like there's a gap in my range, and then I can go back to singing like how I did before my voice started changing. It's really weird. It's very hard to explain. But it's really interesting, and I think it's because I'm getting an Adam's apple slowly, and I think what happens is because it's thickening and stuff, but you don't actually have like the bigger natural voice box. I think that's what causes it. But anyway, so I will sign off. And yeah, I should hopefully be able to post again in about a month. So cheers until then.